There's no such thing as a free lunch. Are you willing to pay the price of success? Lots of people like to talk about how success is something that you have to earn. But most people will not look at what it requires to actually be successful. We have a tendency to expect that success comes from some great deity. The Greeks used to say ex machina, where God runs his hand down and fixes everything in play in a Greek tragedy. That's always useful, kind of cheating on the actual author's point of view. But in reality, that never happens. The price of success is long-term and must be paid. Many people have looked at and said, oh, he's an overnight success, or she's an overnight success. In all reality, they look at me and they go, overnight, taking me 8 to 10 years to get there. And that 8 to 10 years was never always the pleasant thing that it is now. It is the price of success that we need to pay. And does that mean that you have to learn something new? Does that mean that you'll have to deal with the disappointments and the market changing and the way things look and the way things... The price of success is paid incrementally on a daily basis in the dark room when no one is watching. The price of success is only paid when no one sees the cost. The price of success is all about you learning your craft to the point everything seems simple and easy, but knowing that in the beginning it was not. Maybe it's getting on a podcast. Maybe it's talking to a lens. Maybe it's talking to people. Maybe it's closing a sale. All of those things you needed to learn to get to the point of success. But it also is the long nights and the lonely days and the trips on the plane and the getting home when all the house is dark. It is the price of success. You've learned what works for you and what doesn't. You've spent money that you've never gotten back. You've been disappointed by the people and places you go to. You've had agreements that were never fulfilled, were never looked at. You've had all sorts of things that created what you thought was going to be the right, but didn't. The price of success is all about those things that have made us learn. The price of success is dealing with failure. And in many ways, a lot of people don't want to deal with this. A lot of people just want to go up and have everything work the first time. And that would be great. Now, a lot of the companies I started building, specifically in the beginning, we used to have a mantra that says, thank God this is hard. Thank God this is hard, because then if it wasn't hard, everyone would have done it. With that attitude, the expectation is, if this is going to be hard, we're going to figure this out. This is going to be hard. We're going to make sure we get this done, because we recognize that we're going to have to learn a lot, that we're going to have to fail, because this is the price with success. Invariably, that mindset has always worked for me. If it is easy, everyone would do it. The classic example of that is influencers. Influencers on a social media platform is one of the harder things to do. If you look at what the influencers are doing, they're worried about publishing every day something new and engaging. They're worried about how they engage their population on a regular basis. And yes, is it as easy as picking up a cell phone and pushing the button? Yeah, mechanically it is. But have you thought about your customers? Have you thought about what's going on? What's the background? What are you doing? How are you going to continue to talk about the same thing? Have you gotten a large enough audience, and have you have a large enough subject to actually be able to talk about that every day for 365 days? That's the real hardship. It's not the ability to deal with I can just push a button and talk. It's you learning all the things that need to be done. You paying the price in both time, money, effort, and psychology to get it done. Most times, it's the psychology of success that's important. The willingness to fail and fail and fail and fail until one day you succeed. And most times success comes after you've got everything ready to go. I can't tell you how many people have fallen into some sort of great idea and expected this to happen. A classic example of that was when Oprah was still on TV. They would have someone who gets onto the Oprah Winfrey show and assuming that their entire world is going to change. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, that's a silver bullet thinking and dangerous. But also, they get on and they just assume everything's going to be ready. But did they have any products or services that they could sell? Did they have a website that was set up and ready for them to collect names and emails? I can't tell you how many experts I've met who go, man, I had this great opportunity and I did all this work to get it there and we got it all done. But regretfully, at the end, no one came because I didn't have everything set up. So that was a good lesson. And they had some moments of fame, but they didn't have everything else in place. They didn't have the boring stuff in place. They didn't know how to do it, opposed to when it finally hits, when you're all set, it's easy. It looks like it's effortless. It looks like it just came out of you. But in all reality, it's all the hard things that you've done to get to that point. If you're watching this, I really want to encourage you to think about the price of success. From now on, when it gets hard, get excited. I used to have a mantra that says, I can work harder than anyone else. I've changed that a little bit because I've started to find that burnout is a real thing. But I used to love when I had a mentor, and the mentor and I would be chatting back and forth at 11 o'clock at night, my time, because I was still at it. Maybe not the best thing long term, but understand that that was giving me all the learnings that I needed. When it gets hard, get excited. When it gets hard, get going. Magic and power in moving forward, because that's the price for the next set of success. And if you're not willing to pay it, that's good. There are lots of people that we need here to do the things. But if you're willing to pay the price of success, somebody will look at you and go, oh, you just came out of nowhere. You got lucky. And just smile and know and learn that you have paid the price for success. Look back on that and say thank you. Knowing that the hard nights and the hard decisions and the long hours and the failure and the ability for you to keep moving is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Understand it's just the price you have to pay. Any good entrepreneur will understand that. Any good entrepreneur will probably be shaking their head going, yeah, we've done that. Those that have started are going to face challenges. Not a question, it'll happen. What do you do next? If you're willing to pay the price for success, you just have to be patient. Here's what I'd ask for you, is take a look at your work right now and what areas are you paying the price for success? What areas are hard and difficult? And where should you go to make sure that you're living on that growing cutting edge? What can you do to continue to recognize that? And what can you do to reward yourself? I'll tell you what. One of my great rewards after doing 15 or 20 videos is I get to sit down and I usually go out and have myself a meal. It's usually a carb meal because I'm burning a lot of calories having the conversation. So I love the idea of giving yourself a small reward, not a massive reward, it's a small pasta dinner. But if I've done all this and it's hard work and I've gotten it done, a small reward, a small hit of dopamine to say, yes, I am paying for the price of success. What I'd love you to do is I'd love you to comment on this video. Tell me if you think the price of success is too much. And you know someone who was supposed to be an overnight success and how long they had. I'd love you to tell me the story. Let's start the conversation. I look forward to talking to you later. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Want to transform your business with expert strategies? Schedule your strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Ventured Gain. See you in the next video.